Hey everyone, Nick Nielsen, Certified Financial Planner. I want to share a story with you about Mona and how we brought her hope and how it might bring hope to you. 53 years old, mid-level manager at a large publicly traded company. When we sat down, one of the first things she said to me is, Nick, I know there's no way that I'll ever be able to retire. My friends and I talk about it all the time. At best, maybe I'll be able to retire when I'm 80. I didn't know a lot about her financial situation, so I kind of wanted to walk through the process that we went through with her, and hopefully it gives you the same hope and encouragement that it gave her. The first step was just getting an understanding of what her monthly expenses looked like, and she lived a relatively modest lifestyle. Second was to think about what expenses might be gone from her current budget. In her case, her mortgage could definitely be paid off by a traditional retirement age. And I just said, would it be okay if we started the planning process with a goal of retiring at 65? She was overjoyed at the thought that she could be retired by age 65. We took her monthly expenses, we subtracted out the mortgage, we went and found what her Social Security benefit would be, we subtracted that out, and that gave us the number of how much we needed from the portfolio every single month. The following step is, we don't need that amount per month. We're gonna have to adjust that number by inflation. So 53 today, a goal of retiring at 65, we simply used 12 years of that number growing at 3% to give us what that future dollar amount will look like. Then we talked about how big does our portfolio have to be to generate that dollar amount that comes out of the portfolio every month that we view as a sustainable withdrawal rate that can be maintained for hopefully a 3-decade retirement. After doing the math, the number was over $1 million. She was very depressed. You could see she was bummed out. And she says, someone like me will never be able to get to $1 million. We looked at where she was at today, doing nothing more than the current path that she was on. In 12 years, she was actually above $1 million at where we projected that she would be. She was surprised. She didn't understand how compounding works. And matter of fact, nobody really appreciates it until they see it for themselves. A fun number that I like to think about is if you had $100,000 today, and over the next 3 decades, that 100,000 grew at 7.8%, which just happens to be the worst 30-year rolling return of the S&P 500, $100,000 grows to $952,000. That's an incredible dollar amount. It's a great example of the power of compounding. So the tweaks that she had to make to be able to retire at age 65 from what she was currently doing were actually relatively small. We took a deep dive at both sides of her balance sheet, looked at how she was saving and investing, but then also look at her liabilities to make sure that the mortgage could be paid off by the time she reached 65. She walked out of that conversation after 45 minutes or so extremely encouraged and optimistic, and she felt that she had a path forward to live a life that she never thought possible. Retire, 65, live the life that she best envisions for herself. If you're out there saving for retirement aimlessly and you don't think you're ever going to get there, it's really important that you sit down with a certified financial planner who can walk you through the process of how you go from where you are to where you want to go. In many cases, there's a clear path forward. Sometimes all it takes is a different set of eyes and a few simple and concise next steps. I appreciate you watching the video. We think the very best thing that we do is our Dollars and Diagrams email. It goes out every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. If you would, please consider subscribing to that. We offer a lot of stories like these with hope and encouragement to help you meet your most cherished goals, dreams, and aspirations. Thank you, and have a great day.